In my last video, I showed you guys how to win on Field of Glory 2 on the highest difficulty, which is Deity. In that video, I used the river crossing or river choke point technique, and I decided to do another video to show you guys another way that you can win this game on the highest difficulty, because you got to play very differently on Deity than you do on the lower difficulty settings. You can't play like you do on the lower ones. And in this map, there's no river crossing. You got a stream here, and you got a lake, but there are no actual rivers. What there is there's a forest with a clearing inside of it, and this is something you can use to your advantage in Field of Glory. If you understand tactics and the rules of this game, you can use this to your advantage, because what happens is this forest basically acts as a type of shield around my troops, because when the enemy troops try to enter the forest, which they're heavy foot, they become severely disordered, which is also the case for the cavalry. And the rules of this game, for those of you who have read the manual, is basically if they initiate the charge from terrain where they are severely disordered, then they will suffer a massive penalty when they attack us. Okay? As you can see, it's 0 to 8, so we've already routed 8% of their men, and that's from our Lightfoot basically wiping out their Lightfoot. And now there's 5 turns left in the game. I didn't want to make this video as long as my other video, so this is the final 5 turns, and as you can see, the enemy outnumbers us, and they're basically trying to surround the forest and come in. There's an opening here that they're trying to come through, but I have 3 of my units guarding it, including a general, and his presence will actually boost the fighting capacity of my troops. I also have 2 heavy infantry units, citizen hoplites, hidden in the forest, which if the enemy attacks our guys, I'm going to look to set up a trap where I'm going to try to flank them, although they are severely disordered themselves because they're in the forest, so I have to be careful with that. But let's go ahead and do this final 5 turns. So far we're winning. Yeah, and their Lightfoot's going to sit there and hit us. We wiped out most of them, but there's still a few left, and they're not going to do enough damage to really do anything to us this late in the match, or the battle. Okay, so they're charging us now. Okay, so let's see how we're doing here. Yeah, that's not good. Win 7%, lose 20%. And that's because their units are superior to our units. When you play on the highest difficulty, and by the way, I didn't show you guys proof. I like to show proof that I'm playing on the highest difficulty here. So let me go to the settings here and show you guys. Okay, so as you can see here, I have it set to Deity, which is the highest. So let's go back to the game. And when you play on Deity, basically all their units are going to be superior to your units, and they outnumber you, which makes it very difficult to fight them, and you don't want to fight them out in the open. You really have to be smart and use the terrain wisely. So to support my citizen hoplites, I'm going to have my general charge them out. That should help them out. Looks like they're going to send some more citizen hoplites through this little alleyway, or this little narrow path, which is fine because I have some more armored citizen hoplites, and as I said, I have my guys hidden in the forest. So we're in a very, very strong position here. Yeah, so now it's 15 to 11, but I'm not gonna. Let's see here. Now, when using this technique, which I call basically the forest technique or the forest clear opening technique, you have to make sure that your troops are turned in certain ways where their flanks are not exposed. Because if the flanks are exposed, they can charge from the forest and hit you in the sides. And I want to make sure these guys, they could be flanked too, so let's turn them. As you can see, I'm turning my guys because I don't want them to hit me in the side. Okay, let's see. They've fallen back, which is fine. We'll let them just sit there. Okay. But yeah, and you notice how I have my heavy infantry. They're pressed right up against the trees. You want to make sure there's no gaps between you. You don't want them to come out of the forest and get into the clearing with you, because if they get into the clearing, they'll go from being severely disordered to being steady, which means they can fight you on equal footing. And because they already have a higher quality than your troops do, the enemy heavy infantry, they'll beat you in a lot of cases. So you want to make sure you keep them in the forest. You do not want them to get into the clearing with you. Yeah, I'm not concerned about the javelin men hitting our troops, because I know they won't be able to rout them or disrupt them or fragment them in the time left in the game. Looks like they've got some javelin men coming over here, but I have... Okay, so they're charging us again. Just fine, they're going against my general, Furious Camillus, which is a pretty cool name. Would be nice if we could rout some of their heavy infantry units before the game ends, but I'm not sure if we'll be able to do that. The important thing is we're beating them. And we're beating them because we're using the forest as a type of, like, shield around us. And they're kind of standing in the forest. They don't really want to initiate the charge because they know that if they do it, they'll be at a tactical disadvantage. So 57-1, that's excellent. I'm gonna look to flank these guys in the side within the next turn. Let's go ahead and start working to attack this javelin man here, because you can tell he's kind of trying to move towards our troops. Another thing you want to do on the highest difficulty is you want to attack, use multiple troops, multiple units on your team to basically attack a few units on their team. You have to overwhelm them. You want 2 to 1 or 3 to 1. As you can see here, it's 3 versus 1, because if you look at their quality, they're above average and my guys are below average. So you don't want to, like, if these guys go in a melee battle 1-on-1, they'll lose, but with 3-on-1, we'll be able to beat them. If there was enough time left, there really isn't. Okay, let's go ahead. Ooh, disrupted our guys, that's bad. Falling back again. And we're not going to advance. We're going to wait on them, because if they advance again, then I can flank them with my citizen hoplites. It doesn't matter if they advance. We can beat them. If they sit there, we'll win. There's only 1 turn left. This game's pretty much over. It's almost nighttime. Okay, so they hit our other side. Interesting. Now I'm going to bring these guys out of the forest to hit their other flank. Set this all up in advance. So now we're going to move these guys. And then we're going to attack them in the next turn. He's disrupted. Get him out of the way. Okay. Interesting, they're charging us. We're on high ground, so that's not very smart. Plus, it's 3 of us. Nightfall has saved the enemy from other defeat. However, if they withdrew during the night, you at least have the honor of holding the field of battle. So once again, we won. As I said in my previous video, when you play on the highest difficulty on this game, oftentimes the battle is going to end after all 23 turns at night, because the game is so difficult that it's extremely rare to get, 50 to 60% routes. Because the enemy troops are superior to your troops in terms of quality, and they always outnumber you. But by using this technique that I demonstrated, by looking for forests that have openings and clearings inside the forest, you can position your troops in the forest, use the forest as a shield around you, and then position your troops near the opening so that when they try to push through that little narrow opening into the forest, you can hit them from multiple sides, and you can basically hold them off. And basically that was the video. I kept this one pretty short. And thanks for watching. Let's see how we did in terms of our performance. Roman victory. So they had 18,000 men versus, we only had 10,521 men versus their 18,009. They almost had double the troops. They lost 795 and we lost. It was very, very close. And actually, yeah, it was pretty close. But we won. Victory's a victory. So as I said, thanks for watching.